That is also not what I wanted. I've gone past everything I wanted. I am an absolute idiot. Okay, let's just quickly get to how. So, apologies for being an hour late. We finally got around to filming episode 3 of Bake Off, and it went for 3 hours because the judges were really struggling to pick. So, today's going to be short and sweet as we talk about the Rochester Retro ban list. Fair play to Sean. I put a video up asking what happened to the year of Retro. And Sean comes up and goes, yeah, we've got a big announcement coming, and then drops an announcement that Rochester Retro will not be following the official ban list. Here to talk with me with some very strong opinions and harsh words is my lovely co-host, as always, Cameron. How are you doing, my friend? And sorry for keeping you sat there waiting for me for an hour. Ooh. Yeah, we're expecting 34 degrees at some point this week, and it may not sound a lot, especially as you guys don't use Celsius, but with our infrastructure, it is a lot. Oh, for some reason people can't hear you. Why can't they hear you?
Because if you can hear me, then I
can hear you. Okay. Sorry about that, Klaxo. Sorry about that, everybody. So, Cameron was just complaining about the heat and that they were able to read their hack/omnibus. As you can tell, I'm a bit fried from 3 hours of Bake Off. But Cameron has got some opinions on the end of the ban list. Sorry. It's kind of interesting to see what they've actually done here and the reasoning behind it. I did put up a video literally saying that the year retro has kind of been a non-starter. What exactly is the year retro? And yeah, I would love to see more community retros. Stark Dark came out going, we've just had a 1K. And I'm like, yeah, that's very, very cool. And I do get that that was a retro event, but I don't think it was the selling point of the weekend. It was more a side event. I know Retro has had its side events. I know UK Games Expo had a retro event. I'm not saying that the year of retro isn't happening. I just expected when you say the year of something, it would be a lot more hype by this point than just side events. And that's not calling anyone out. That's not me. I did not initially intend to call anyone out. And I'm sorry if people felt that way. I really am. But Sean has come back swinging with one hell of an announcement about Rochester Retro. And surprisingly, it will affect the UK possibly, because at UK Games Expo, we did follow Rochester Retro. So, seeing as you've got very strong opinions on this, and I've read it a bit more detail than me, what exactly has Rochester done to their retro format?
All right, so according to Rochester Retro, there is no ban list. There's still the suspended list, but they're not sticking to any hard bans, and any card that is suspended could come back at any given time. And they've chosen to unsuspend a lot of cards. Some of them make me a little concerned, like Mature 1 is back for anyone who is a younger player than me. Mature was a character that when you could attack on turn 1 was just a character and 59 attacks, and you would just attack on turn 1 and just obliterate your opponent.
So I did order a box of retro stuff from eBay months ago, and it turned up and it had some King of Fighters stuff in there, which I believe Mature is part of that thing.
Yeah, she's from the first King of Fighters set.
And I was going through that, and I went, "Ooh, Mature!" And I read it. I was like, if you check an attack, you just get X amount to your check. I'm like, this is really cool. I take a picture of it, send it to my friend, going, can I build this for Retro? And I just get, that's banned. That's super banned.
Yeah, your checks to play mid attacks get +2 as a first form. You have City Rampage on face. She also has a City Rampage symbol. So now that you can't attack on turn 1, and that's one of the main reasons that they said that they were bringing her back, you can't attack on turn 1, so it kind of limits her a little bit so people can build a bit more defense. But she has a City Rampage symbol, so a 5+ difficulty mid attacks. You do your first form, lose 2 health, then you play City Rampage, all of your checks get +4 for the turn is a little ridiculous. And then they also unbanned an action called Punishment Time, which was another card that would really suck if you could attack on turn 1. It's a static that says it does not count towards progressive difficulty, and all of your ranged and weapon attacks get 1 speed and 1 damage. And as a form, you can just look at the top 2 cards of your deck and replace them in any order. So you arrange your first 2 checks of the turn after playing this card, and then you're like, cool, all my attacks get 1/1. This card doesn't count towards progressive, and I'm just going to slam through a whole bunch of stuff. They were crazy.
Now, they have got their reasons. They have got reasonings, and I think Broberg did this massive write-up on Facebook, Discord, and many other places about the reasons why they've unbanned everything and done these and kept these unsuspended, and why they've suspended some stuff. Now, I'm an MHA Onward player, and I see Amphibious, Frog Lashing, and Coordinated Effort up there, and I'm like, are they really okay to be played in Retro?
I'll be honest with Amphibious, I think that just readies when you clear a card, right?
Yeah.
It would help if I knew how to spell.
But Coordinated Effort lets you build in block when you block,
turn.
right? Once per turn.
Coordinated Effort. Response commit after your blocked attack resolves, build it face down. Yeah, that's alright, I guess. I think they were mainly banned because the ban list carried over from Standard.
No, because Get Ready, Get Set, Go and Back Alley Haymaker and stuff didn't carry over.
You're right.
Because I played a Mina 1 4-check deck that was running Ready, Get Set, Go, and someone went, that is really unfair, when I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, I did see that they did suspend Risky Encounter, Military Airship. I think those are very good bans, or suspensions, now that I have to learn how to say that. They did suspend Huitzel 2 and Gemini Man 2 just to give the first versions of those characters a fighting chance to see if they're really worth staying suspended, because they unsuspended them. From what I can tell, Huitzel 1, the main issue was stacking Huitzel 2 when you could do character stacking, and getting a 4 hand size character's abilities on a 6 hand size character, which obviously has its problems.
Yeah, Richard's saying that Amphibious re-readies whenever you clear, but doesn't flip, so you just get to keep readying it.
Yeah, but it is a once per turn, so I can see where that can be an issue, but it's still kind of just. I think there's more egregious shit in Retro, but Huitzel 2 was actually one of the characters that I was going to try to help a friend of mine. One of my locals, we're going to Louisville next month, and I was talking to him about building Huitzel 2 for the Retro event. And literally the next day, they turn around and ban Huitzel 2. I'm like, well, that bang
But then he gets,
theory, man.
Isn't Huitzel 1 more broken?
I don't think so, because like I said, the Huitzel 1 was mainly you could stack the Huitzel 2 and get all of those powerful abilities on a 6-hand character instead of a 4-hand character.
Okay.
I didn't play when Huitzel 1 was banned, unless it got banned like right after Huitzel 2 came out. No, Huitzel 2 got reprinted because Huitzel 1 got banned. I didn't play in that. I mean, you can just pitch a character to draw 2 cards after any given ready phase, so you're technically like a 7-hander, unless you're discarding the card from your stage. It seems fine. Like I said, there's more egregious stuff going on. I saw a lot of people complaining that Jeddah 2 should be unbanned because they're saying there's You can just build more. There's more ways around him now. And I said, if you're going to unban Jeddah 2, you better give me Chin Gensai from King of Fighters. If you're going to unleash Jeddah, who debuilds people to no foundations almost every turn, give me the character that starts the game with 2 foundations. It's only fair.
Jeddah 2, this tag gets +1 milestone damage for each card in your opponent's momentum. Response, destroy one. After you block and attack, your opponent adds one of their foundations to momentum. Once per turn, if your opponent has 0 momentum, they add one ready foundation to the momentum and you draw a card. Okay, that's...
Yeah. And every time, that's not a once per turn on that destroy one foundation. And there's a lot of death cards that build foundations in after they're destroyed, so you don't go down resources, and your rival does.
Yeah, and that...
You can just give a whole bunch of DR.
And that enhance for 0 momentum isn't your turn, so if you can cause them to spend momentum, you can just debuild them.
Yep, and he shares 2 symbols with Tira from Soul Calibur, who is all about forcing cards into your rival's momentum and then spending them. She's got an attack that's a powerful 3 that is a combo with a weapon, or a combo with a fury, says you're allowed to spend your rival's momentum to pay the cost of your powerful ability. So you would just do stuff like that, throw these huge attacks at your rival, and then just debuild them even more.
I mean,
it's ridiculous.
You can't build Huitzel for your local, but you can build Mature for them now.
If Rochester wasn't sold out of them, I would have. I was gonna pick one up, but I think they sold out instantly.
I mean, surely you must know someone in the many years you've been playing. Is that Sam Tate? I bet he's got a box of them lying around.
Maybe, but I got my name of Hermit for a reason. I don't have a lot of connections.
It's 2.5 weeks away. I'm sure I can get you mine in that time.
That's a lot of shipping and handling. But no, I want Chin Gensai to come back. He's 628 that says before the game starts, you add the top 2 cards of your deck to your stage, face down committed. So you start the game with 2 foundations. And as a first form, you sacrifice a face down foundation. For the rest of your turn, all of your attacks get 2 speed, and your opponent has to commit a foundation as an additional cost to play any enhance or responsibility. And I don't know how this card got printed. Chin. It's just Chin.
Oh, it's just Chin. Okay, I was going to say, I can see Chin, but I don't see Chin Gensai.
But his last name's Gensai. I'm just used to calling him.
Before the game begins, add the top 2 cards of your deck to your staging area face down. Committed. They are considered foundations with blank text. First form, destroy 1 foundation. For the rest of the turn, your attacks get +2 speed, and your opponent must commit 1 foundation as an additional cost to play and enhance or response abilities.
Yeah. I don't know how this guy got printed in the first place, but if we're going to throw Jeddah 2 in the mix, I want Chin. I'm going to need that fighting chance of starting with 2 foundations.
Well, I mean, I don't see. Oh, yeah, Chin's are still on the list of suspendees. He's the only one in King of Fighters 13.
Yep. Or, if they want to really make me happy and really stick it to the old Jasko, they could unban Sasha 1 from Red Horizon. Because I was going to play Sasha 1 for a retro event at Legendary Wolf. It was going to be my first event in 2 years. And I asked if a certain card combo with this character worked, or if I was just breaking the rules. So I asked the head judge. And the head judge not only told me that's hilarious, I love it, it works, he then immediately banned her the next day.
You shouldn't have said anything. You shouldn't have said anything.
That's when I learned to ask for forgiveness rather than for permission.
I'm just thinking,
Sasha,
looking at this list and stuff, I'd have just loved to have seen one event, just had Louisville with all the players there, no ban list, and just make the first Rochester suspension list from what's played there.
That's
unban everything.
Too much. Too many, too much.
Give me Kwai Chi back. Give me everything going from there.
Although I am working on because I was trying to figure out. I'm still trying to figure out who I want to play for the Rochester Retro event in case I don't make top cut. And it's been a struggle, but I think I might work with either a Twinkle Murdoch or a Bui, and just playing cards like Breaking and Dual Blade Rupture and see how many times I can ready my character in one turn.
Yeah, there's going to be multiple ways you can do it.
Yep, because Dual Blade Rupture can ready a
Evening,
card that
Connor.
hasn't been ready to my stage, and Breaking just readies my character, and I can just keep committing for super powerful abilities.
Now, I may be biased here, but they did ban Colossal Thermal Blast, but you can still play Mina 1 Colossal Detonation
Yes.
and just go get wrecked.
Yep. You still can do that, absolutely.
I'm just saying, it would be one hell of a deck.
It absolutely would. Not my style, though. It's just not for me. Yeah, I was also thinking of doing like an Elizabeth deck from King of Fighters, Ruler of Time. She's all about milling, and I can just mill my rival 16 to 32 cards in a single turn. So, that's always fun.
Why can't I not spell Elizabeth? Jeez.
Because it's spelled with an S, not a Z.
Why?
Because that's how they choose it. Elis. Abeth.
Why does she look like the one from Phoenix Wright?
She kind of does. I was thinking like a mid-century Sailor Mercury.
No, see, I look at Elizabeth and I see the female lawyer from Phoenix Wright. You immediately knew who I was on about, or Caitlyn from Arcane.
Still have to watch Arcane.
You do need to watch Arcane.
I know it's on the list.
We have got UK resident retro expert Connor in the chat, so maybe Connor can give you some retro inspiration. Last time I played retro, I did see a very cool retro deck, which was Asui 3, City Rampage, Crowing Frog, Dark Shadow Ruin, and basically going, I have no progressive.
Yeah. What's progressive difficulty?
Yeah, so unfortunately, Connor, they're playing with the new Rochester Retro list, where Goro is banned.
Yep, Goro and Shiva are both banned. They should never have been unbanned. I agree with the Rochester guys
However,
on that one.
We do have the ability to play with Mature, Haitsu, Gemini Man.
Yep.
So all these guys, punishment time. Lion Buddy. There's a lot of cool stuff in here. But yeah,
it's just if we're gonna be going to this where every dog can have its day coming back, I'm a little worried.
Yeah, Richard.
I remember some of these being banned for a very good reason.
Yeah, Richard. Frog Lashing got unbanned. And isn't suspended. I mean, you could look at doing some kind of card pool clogging frog lashing thing.
Yeah, you absolutely could do something like that. There are a lot of card pool clogs in retro, especially on the water symbol, I believe. Card pool, not cared pool. Again, it would help if I knew how to spell. Yeah, there's like Liu Kang, who twice per turn after you play a combo ability, your rival adds one card to their card pool from their top of their deck. And he's all about just playing combos and clogging your rival's pool, and you can end with a big frog lashing at the end of that and just absolutely deck people. Or Lily, if you're playing a full ranged package on the water symbol, after you play a range attack, your rival has to add a face-up foundation to their card pool and build the top card of their deck face down.
Connor, you got that the wrong way around. Ken got unsuspended. He got unsuspended, and then was suspended again, I believe. Oh no, he got suspended and got unsuspended. Yeah, he got let back out.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Frog Lashing gets damage for face downs and readies 2 face downs. So you can put it in buoy. Ooh, Frog Lashing buoy.
Yeah, you can put it in buoy. You can just do a water breaking buoy. Frog frog lashing. Okay.
Man, everyone's on the buoy train thanks to breaking.
Tell me about it. When I saw breaking, my first thought was not Jamie.
I mean,
For each of your ready face down foundations, yeah.
what characters can you commit in Retro that breaking allows you to break?
So any in water. Elizabeth, that's a good one because you could mill multiple. You could mill 8 on your rival multiple times.
You can mill 8. If you run things like Final Exam Gut Shot, which has all, you can mill them for additional 8.
Yep, that's exactly what I'm doing. That's exactly the plan. If we didn't have the restriction of you had to like play, like obviously attuned messes with card pool, like what is it, symbol chaining. I'd be playing Dual Blade Rupture because it says I can ready any card in my stage that has not.
Well, there is no symbol chaining in Rochester Retro, is there?
Well, yeah, but I can't play because Elizabeth has all and death. I can't play both an all card and a death card, even if those two cards share a similar symbol. So I can't do that.
You can.
I'm pretty sure you're not allowed.
No,
to do that
Rochester Retro wants to make it more like standard. Symbol chaining isn't a thing.
Well, no, but like I can't play an air death evil card because she has death, and then also play an all earth evil card.
Oh yeah, no, you can't. Yeah, you can't do that anymore. No.
Yeah, I can't off symbol, I should say. So there's that. But let's see, what else can breaking break? Commit, build all face down cards in your card pool. That's not it. Maybe if I just do character commit.
Yeah, I'm just looking at character commit.
There's 38. My 1, commit your attack, it's 3 speed, 3 damage. That's pretty cool.
Oh.
And then as a tenacious ability, if your attack deals 4 more damage, you just get to gain 2 health.
When?
When does not have water.
Oh, when? Oh, yeah.
Breaking has water.
I didn't forget. I forgot to add the symbol because I'm an idiot.
You are very tired, sir. It is completely fair. But yeah, Elizabeth, just mill 8 2 to 3 times a turn is amazing. Like I said, I can rip 16 to 32 cards out of your deck in 1 turn. Iceman can do multiple things. Tengu Man can give up to +3/+3, but you have to run 1 checks. So I don't know if that's a good thing. You could do Garrett Brett 4, who says response commit after an attack is played. Add the bottom card of your deck to your hand. This attack gets +2 damage. And response, add 1 card from your hand to the bottom of your deck before your draw step. Commit 1 of your rival's foundations and freeze it. So you could absolutely play like Bagpipe Cacophony and a whole bunch of other things that stack the bottom of your deck and just draw from the bottom of your deck a bunch. Twinkle Murdoch, enhance commit. Your rival adds the top 2 cards of their deck to their momentum. And she has a game-winning card that says if your rival has 8 or more momentum, you automatically win. So just turbo going through that is amazing.
Zoe 2 is banned, right? So yeah, Zoe 2 is suspended.
Yeah, Zoe 2 is.
Because you've got commit, add 1 attack from your card pool to your stage face down, add 1 range attack from your card pool to your hand. If you do that twice, seems really powerful.
You could do Ojiro 2 if you're really feeling froggy.
Ooh, could.
Or Selkie. It's a response commit. After your kick or slam deals damage, flip it and add the top 2 cards of your deck to your momentum. So you play like a slam throw, get 2 momentum, flip that, play breaking, ready him up. Breaking deals damage, flip that, commit, get 2 more momentum, throw everything on a big powerful.
You've got Severstan. Commit, discard your hand, draw number of cards equal to the number of cards you discarded.
Yep, Sebastian. He's pretty good. I really like his original character, though, but his original character doesn't commit. It's like a form, check a 5, add any card from your discard to your card pool, and it doesn't count towards progressive difficulty. So you just put in reduction, which gives all of your attacks 2/2.
Ooh.
It's so dumb. I love it. Yeah, you could do the Asuis 1 and 3. That's pretty good for retro.
Oh man, if you could only do it in your turn, you could play Keenan Meadows.
Keenan Meadows.
Commit after you completely block an attack. Remove the card you block with from the game. Then search your deck for a copy of the removed card and add it to your hand.
I mean, that would make a block against a reversal not count towards progressive difficulty.
Yeah.
If you're expecting a lot of reversals for some reason. And then form, choose a non-foundation card in your card pool. It does not count towards progressive difficulty. Holy crap, Keenan, Jesus. That's amazing.
719.
Yeah, he's a squishy boy.
King,
but...
commit your attack gets +1 damage for each card in your opponent's card pool.
Yep, and she does want to play kicks. Because response check a 5 after you play a kick that is not as a block. You're at.
And it's on water, so you can put tongue whip and frog lashing and all those card pool cloggers in there as well.
Mm-hmm. And she's one of the.
Connor says you should play
characters.
Yamato Man.
Yamato Man?
Yamato Man. Is Yamato Man banned?
No, not as far as I know. But I don't think he commits himself.
I think it's more just to play in general, not just because you want to play breaking.
He's just water. He's just water 7 hand size Deku 4 or Deku 3. He's the Deku that readies your rival's cards for 3 speed 1 damage.
Yeah, it was just a general session. You got commit your attack gets +3 speed +3 damage.
Yeah, so you could do that and just spam that all over the place. So yeah, there's a lot of really cool...
I'm sorry, Lizardman says what? If your printed low attack is not blocked, your opponent discards 1 card. I'd run an all low package just to see how many people I can get to discard cards.
I mean, that's not in retro, but yeah.
Is that not? No, that's,
I think you've gone into...
I've gone too far. I see.
Some crazy stuff that they have allowed to come out now with this new suspension, unsuspended stuff.
So you've been playing a lot longer than me. How do you feel about this suspension list? And, like, talk me through it. What's the issue with what they've brought back in?
I still say mature was probably a mistake. I think we'll see that, mainly because, sure, she can't go into the all-in, I'm going to kill you on my first turn, like, package, but you can still do a lot of damage with just a basically free +2 to my check on all my attacks, and then if I get below half health, +3 damage to all of my attacks, so she becomes just Godzilla on face.
Yeah.
That's not great. And she has access to a lot of very powerful cards on Evil and Chaos. Like, she can run the Chaos Attune package and run cards like Reduction, which is a 1/mid one that's a mid attack that says, as long as this is in my card pool, all my attacks get 2 speed, 2 damage.
I mean, yeah, Mature got banned for running low-cost attacks very quickly. But now Mature gets to run Determined Advance.
And City Rampage. And all of these other crazy check-boosting cards.
All these super mid cards.
You can split stuff up. Yeah, so... And she gets to run defense now because she's not forced into this all-in package on turn 1.
Yeah, no.
So she can force herself down into that desperation slot pretty good and then just absolutely... box you for it. She can run she can run Punishment Time. I'm gonna check the top 2 cards of my deck, figure out what they are. As long as this card's in my card pool, all my attacks get 1/1, and it's not a first form. And Punishment Time doesn't count towards progressive. So as long as you're drawing a bunch of cards, you're just gonna keep going. and you're never going to fail a check.
Yeah.
So that concerns me. The Gemini Man and Huitzel, I'm not too concerned with, mainly because Gemini Man 2 and Huitzel 2 are suspended in return. I am glad they suspended military airship, because if you thought that was going to be crazy in standard, Retro has even more craziness to abuse that with.
How can you abuse it? It's kind of like already locked in. Unless you can thaw it out, how are you abusing military airship?
Oops. Hold on. You have cards like Biles Lunges. Spend 1 momentum, ready 1 asset.
How do you spell that?
Biles.
I need to get rid of Kaiser. Biles Lunges. Discard 1 card, your opponent loses to discard 1 card, ready 1 assets. But then you still can't commit it because it's frozen, and you can't commit you can't pay the cost.
Oh yeah, because you can't commit frozen assets.
You can't commit a frozen asset. Because you can't freeze something that's already frozen, as the rules say, which most people, as everyone forgot. So
yeah, I did forgot about that. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm trying to think, because they put that one word in on there with the freezing being cost. I don't quite know how anyone abuses military airship unless you can thaw it out or do like the tasty riff constant rebuilding.
Wait, what's his name? Psyche? Psyche's name?
We got Psyche K in here?
Psyche. Oh, nope. Okay, so that's limited to air and death assets.
Yeah.
Thankfully. Okay, yeah.
You can tasty rift in standard, but it's still not suspended in standard, Connor. So that's you see what I mean? If UV assassin is not that big of an issue in standard, can you somehow make it more consistent in retro that you're going to be able to get the applause counters and be able to build it? Or is this Rochester's subtle way of saying it should be banned in standard?
Let me say 2-year stage instead of asset. 2 years.
I don't think...
Honestly, I'm not sure. I'm sure there's plenty of ways to just cycle some of
I don't
stuff.
think airship needs to be banned in any way, shape, or form. I just think it needs to be ratted to first enhance, and then it fixes all of its problems. Simple
I can
as.
see that.
But yeah, Connors is basically just saying that they don't have the data to ban military airship. So hey, you heard it here first. Military airship's going to get touched after Louisville. When people are playing, I get to attack you in your turn multiple times. It could be you. You could be playing. You could play the drive impact military airship. You just keep picking up the attacks and punching them in their turn.
I could, but I'm not gonna. Like I said, I've got some other ideas that I'm kicking around.
I get this. Not the issue is it's such a kind of Christmas land combo that it's very hard to pull off, and if you do manage to pull it off, fair play to you.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Here's a character I think you'll like.
Oh?
Look up Zasalamel.
I am too dyslexic for that.
Zasa.
Yeah. Why Zasa? Why?
I think he's African or Egyptian.
Okay.
Zasalamel.
So my idea for a Universus spelling bee, right? This is just getting more in line of I need to make this happen.
Yeah, but look up Zasalamel from Soul Calibur 6. I think this is a character for someone who loves reversals as much as you do. Look at this boy.
This attack gets plus 5 damage. Damage equals the difference between its print speed. After your opponent blocks attack, you may play a reversal from your discard. As a reversal, remove the played attack after it resolves or leaves the card pool.
Enhance once per turn. This attack gets -5 speed.
It's no Dabby 1 though.
True, but I can play reversals from my discard pile.
Who cares about playing reversals from my discard when I can go, this attack gets plus 8 damage and throw, or you destroy all your ready foundations in your turn?
That is true, but there's also, wait for it, if I can find the word reversal on here. Not Nether Storm, that's... Did I get the wrong card then? It's Earth Evil, right? Is it Earth Air? Earth Air Death, okay. Withering Toxin. It's a reversal that says this attack gets 2 speed for each card that has left your rival's card pool this turn. Enhanced, remove X cards from your rival's card pool. Draw X cards and flip one of your opponent's foundations. So you target flip, you get to clear all of their card pool on their turn, removing them from the game. And then you get a whole bunch of speed, a whole bunch of damage, and they get no momentum, and you flip their best card. And you draw like 3 to 5 cards.
What's it called?
Withering Toxin.
I'm just gonna search it. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, again, it's one I can play in Dabby.
Yeah, you could absolutely play this in Dabby.
And then it gets +2 speed, and it gets all the additional damage. I'm just saying, I'm hard pressed to find anyone I want to play with versus in more than Dabby 1.
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I guess I can't fault you on that one.
There's something special about playing Dabby 1, having your opponent play their attack, and you just go, first enhance. My next attack gets +3 damage, and you see their eyes widen as they go. Yeah, the eyes widen. They go, oh no, I know what this is. It's like, yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
This isn't about winning.
Yeah,
this is about sending a message.
You know, when I say stuff like that, people say I sound like a mobster, and I don't get it. Because I remember building 3 decks for 3 preteens that I demoed the game to, and their mother asked if she could pay me for them. I said, no, it's fine. I built them. I want them to play. She goes, but that seems like a... You know, it might be a...
Yeah, it's a very kind of it's a pusher kind of thing, isn't it? It's like, yeah, the first taste is free.
Yeah, I will make it as easy for you to get into this game as possible.
Yeah,
Whether
no,
or not
it's
you're
fine.
able to leave after that is your problem.
Take the cards. You'll be fine. Have some fun. But if you want to get that next high, it's going to cost you some packets.
Yeah, it's going to cost you some packets. Cost you some money.
Yeah, you want that shiny
I wish
stuff.
Rochester wasn't out of surprise punishments. I need copies of that card so bad.
Oh. Yeah, we had an entire plan of what we were going to do today. Then Bake Off ran an hour over, and we weren't even gonna stream today. We're just like chilling, chatting about cards that are busted.
Yeah, a little bit. I've been wanting to do like a retro breakdown for a while, especially after this thing. But I figured we could probably get someone who knows even better than I do, like in on this to be like, okay, like Kevin did this write-up. We could pick Kevin's brain of why did you choose this? Why is this still banned? And can I get Chin Gensai, please?
I mean, they didn't talk about why stuff's still banned, but there's an entire write-up here as to why they took some stuff off.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about stuff like Dramatic Slash. Hold up, what's Dramatic Slash?
Dramatic Slash is the jet burn monomer card that lets you build in an asset for using momentum.
If you have one or more, yeah, spend a momentum, build an asset. Okay. I don't see why we talked about that for airship.
Because you need momentum. You're eventually going to run out. Whereas Tasty if it's a constant loop.
Well, yeah, I'm talking. But he said that in this write-up, he says an exceptional case of Dramatic Slash, it can repeat the same thing. So I'm like, well, does it? Because it's not like we have Unwavering Slash back.
Dramatic Slash that repeats the same control check for the same pair of 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah, because Dramatic Slash, you require momentum. So unless you can infinitely generate momentum, which seems impossible, which seems like is a different issue in itself, you can't constantly keep cycling.
Yeah, especially not on the all good and air symbols. I don't know how you're snatching a whole bunch of momentum on those symbols.
No.
I'd have to do some deep digging to try to break some stuff like this.
Yeah.
I did not come prepared for that.
Imagine if you play Mitchell Samino good, you could do it. But you can do that in standard.
No one could. Yeah, but you could do it in standard. Scarlet Meteor still bans. Purifier Shadow Slicer. Yeah,
it is a weird choice to pick Dramatic
Gil
Slash.
1 did nothing wrong. Gil 1 only got banned because Mark Tyner played Spirit Gun, which should never have been printed as it had. I'm still mad about that because Gil was one of the characters I was hard building until he got banned.
I opened a Gil in my Street Fighter vs. Darkstalkers, and I was like, oh, this character looks really cool. And then I get the exact same message from Mitchell going, banned. Banned. Like, why? Why is the half red, half blue angel banned? For those that can't see on the screen, it's response twice per turn. After your opponent plays a card, draw a card. And this face of attack gets plus X or minus X speed. X equals 5 minus the number of printed keywords on this attack. If the attack's speed was increased or decreased by 3 or greater, gain 2 vitality. Yeah. Just being able to draw 2 cards for free is a bit of a problem.
You can only do that if your rival plays cards. All you have to do is not play cards. You'll be fine.
I mean, I'm sorry, but going second, you're an 8-hander?
Absolutely, I am. I loved Gil was what made me realize just how good going second in this game was, and this is before the mulligan rule we have now. This is back still with the mulligan rule of you had to remove your entire hand from the game in order to mulligan, which is why Ken 2 got banned.
I'm just sat there with Gil and ready, get set, go in my deck, going, play a card. I've got 8 cards in my hand. I'm going to have 8 cards in my hand. I will draw a ready, get set, go.
Yep. Yeah, not saying I did do that. Well, not with a ready, get set, go, but there's another action that does that. Can't remember what it's called. I think it's also a 4-diff. Just get ready, get set, go, and luck, which is basically just ready, get set, go. After your rival plays their 4th foundation this turn, out of the 2 foundations,
you're a 9-hander, technically?
Yeah, because you have to draw up, too.
So you draw 5, you play an attack, they block, you draw. You play another attack, you block, they draw. You go, cool, I've got a full hand again.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you only have 27 health, so...
I'm starting to see why... It doesn't matter.
27 health.
You're 27 9-hander. I'm starting to see why he got banned.
Hey, he's fine.
Connor's saying that Ken 2 never got banned.
Did it not?
He got suspended by Rochester a couple of months back.
Oh, that might have been what I was thinking about. Yeah, they changed stuff on here so many times I can't keep track. But yeah, that dude was rough. Yeah, Gil was nice. I loved playing him. I was gonna take him to Worlds until I left him at home, and that's the story of how I met Chris Smith in real life, and played Akuma 2 for the first time and almost top cut Worlds.
I like how we have all these really powerful abilities, and we still have Jiffany Jamba, who is an 8-hander with no abilities.
She had the infinity symbol, and back then that meant you could just play any frickin' card you want.
So why is she still banned?
I don't know. Talk to Kevin and the rest of the Rochester Council. I don't know.
We might have to get actually pose that question going. I mean, you get to play one symbol now. Terrible.
Yeah, that's a little rough. I'm still mad that Superior Technique is suspended / banned, because when I was building my Wen deck, this was a golden action for me. Form, clear 1 weapon from your card pool, draw 2 cards, and then clear this card from your card pool. It's a 4-diff action.
I'm too tired. I'm playing this. How do you spell superior?
Superior.
That's what's going on. Spirit Technique.
Yeah.
Red Horizon.
Yeah, I just played it for the form because I would kick a weapon card out of my card pool that says when it leaves my card pool, I get to ready my character. And I would just keep playing that in when, so I could keep drawing cards and then keep hacking your checks.
Lord Raptor 2 is still banned, yes.
Yes, thank Christ. That character also should never have been printed the way he was. Which sucks because he's one of my friend's favorite characters, and I told him, if I make it to Worlds and Raptor's not banned, I'm taking Lord Raptor to Worlds specifically to get him banned. Because I could breaker 7 people with a single block.
I can't believe that Twisty Inferno's still banned.
I mean, now that Punch and Judy's gone, I can kind of see that being okay.
No, because you just get the ragdoll, all my actions draw more cards and remove themselves deck that just goes die. But you can't attack turn 1, so I guess it doesn't matter.
And there's so many like ways to seal it. Like you could straight play what's the new action from Attack on Titan?
Filled with doubt.
Yeah, you could just filled with doubt. It'd be like, ha, you're sealed. Sorry.
I like how Nick Reagan got banned even after being touched.
Nick Reagan suggested he get banned. He was like, hey, put me on the ban list. This is not going to happen.
Nick Reagan always knew that he was going to be busted, especially with Tech Sphere being around.
Yeah. That's not great. Fatality, yeah. Goro, yeah.
Do you know who they should bring back for 1 month? And it should be
Sasha?
it should be a month where they have no major events in the US. Quan Chi.
Which one?
Both.
Yeah, let's have a match. You can only play Quan Chi 1 or Quan Chi 2. Let's go. Is it Chinook or Shinnok? Because
Shinnok is still there. I thought Shinnok was unbanned.
Oh, 2 ends. No, he's banned because he's got a static that says your abilities cannot be canceled.
Oh.
Yeah, as a static, your abilities cannot be canceled. That alone is why that character should never have been printed.
I know Patriot gave away a giant version of the card last year.
Yeah, it's...
Your abilities cannot be cancelled by card effects. So is that just your character abilities or all your card abilities?
All of your card abilities. So if your rival has Revoke, which can cancel enhances, they can't cancel you.
What if
your abilities?
What if the ability says your rival made you X to cancel it?
I don't think they can do that. I think that was one of the things that Mark Tyner was doing. He was playing these abilities that it's like, cool, you can't cancel these.
Yeah, Connor's got the big Shinnok in his room.
Yeah, and then response, lose 2 health after your rival plays an ability that draws cards, destroy one of their foundations, or commit their character. And then enhance, lose 2 health, your attack gets 2 speed. If you're at less than half health, draw 2 cards and discard a card. So yeah, he just... Nah. And he was a box topper, too. So you could only get him if you bought a box.
Oh. And Fatality's banned because it does stupid combo things.
Fatality was banned because I think it was Kevin Broberg who played an Anakaris deck. All the deck did was stall and gain health and use Fatality to just remove... You just looped Fatality over and over and just removed every card in your rival's discard pile from play, so that then when they cycled, they just died.
Richard's asking, is Quan Chi 1 the worst character they ever printed, or is there ones that are more fucked?
Yeah, how long has it been since I looked at Quan Chi? Quan Chi 1. Remove a character from your discard pile for the rest of this enhanced step. Starting character gains all enhanced abilities printed on the removed card. Response after your player plays in it. No, he was pretty fucked. Because you played Spike 2, who says enhance twice per turn. After this attack resolves, clear it. So you never had to worry about progressive difficulty.
Well, you only get it till the end of the enhanced step, right?
This is not a once per turn. So you just play multiple uh, uh, what's his name? Spike 2. And you just keep, because it was Spike 2 and it was someone else. I'm trying to remember who the other one was. Oh no, it might have been off of Death, because I think it was Napalm Man 2. He played Quan Chi, he's played Spike 2. Yeah, because Napalm Man says once per turn, discard a card, add an attack from your discard pile to your hand. And then Enhance, if your attack is not blocked, your opponent loses 2 health, but they may discard a card to cancel this ability. So you just play Spike to constantly clear your card pool, and then you play Napalm Man to constantly pick up more attacks. And you just blow your rival up. It was gross.
Oh right, I'm struggling to focus. This has been. It's been a
short.
Yeah, it's been a fun little 50-minute chat just on retro, and it's a video that I was gonna make just talking about the fact that it's great to see the year of retro still in people's minds, but this is a really hard thing to react to as an international player, because the chances are this is not going to affect me in any single way ever, unless UVS literally goes kind of like the MTG Commander Council kind of thing. We're handing Rochester Retro is going to be the de facto retro, and they're going to handle it, and that's going to be like the system we use, so we don't have to put resources into maintaining it. If UVS says that, it'll be one hell of a decision, and I think people would be very annoyed. But yeah, I can get that some people are annoyed. I can get that some people just want to follow the official list and play the official way and be able to attack turn 1 and play the game the way it used to be able to be played.
Like psychopaths.
But at the same time, it's really weird as an international player to have a community format pushed on us that we as a community have no say into. Because like when it was in UK Games Expo, it was like, yeah, it was Rochester Retro. I was like, why are you doing an unofficial format? And when Rochester said that they were doing this, I messaged Sean from Patriot. I was like, are you going to be speaking with Dobbers about getting like a Patriot retro ban list, like doing more community stuff? He's like, we'll have a talk about it, but this is just it. Scotland and the Dobbers kind of control retro here, and it's almost like Rochester kind of like trying to have a monopoly control over it.
I can see where it feels like that. I don't think it is anywhere near that malicious. I think he's just trying to keep it alive here, and for the most part, UVS Games is like, well, if you're dealing with it, we don't have to put as much thought into it right now, so we'll just let you run since you're our main TO, we'll let you run your events as you like. And they might be using data from the Rochester Retros as like a testing ground to see what works and what doesn't, but it's kind of like they're not exactly shopping it out to Rochester, but they're happy to let him go on their merry way and kind of just glean the data from it. Because like we've said, they are a very stretched thin company, and they might just be kind of letting this play out on its own in the sandbox just to see what is made of it and what kind of like what kind of hype it drums up.
Yeah, I wasn't saying it was malicious or anything. I mean, Rochester have been the big go-to company for singles, for vending, for OP and stuff for a long time. So it would make this is like a natural progression kind of aspect to it, where Rochester are moving in more of like the community aspect of it. It's just, again, it's kind of one of those weird things to see. Oh yeah, we're going to be governing retro events with this, but we only see them at side events. We haven't seen Rochester putting on a community event like what Stark Dark did, and we haven't seen anything outside of a regional event wise. And I know it's something that the UK community have also been saying, like they want more outside of regional events, and I know Sean is trying to organize something in our downtime, but that's not to take away from what like the Dobbers and Rochester have been doing for regionals. For retro, they're keeping it alive. They're keeping people interested. I know Sean does great deals on product. The Dobbers give away decks at regionals and help people get into retro, and it's a great thing that they're doing to try and help keep the old systems alive. And this is big news, and I'm sure as a new player I cannot fully grasp the depth of what's happened here. But at the same time, it's a case of it's kind of one of those things that it's not my circus, not my monkeys kind of thing. It's never really going to affect me.
Yeah, I can totally see that. Although I just had a great idea. If we do like a major community retro event, just like not it's a side event to like this cash tournament. I think if we do a Rochester Retro main event, the grand prize should be you get to take one thing off of suspension of your choice for the next like thing. Be like, cool, until the next event, this one card is off suspension.
Well, I know Sam Tate is looking at doing possibly the next Webcam Warriors or something as a retro event and trying to like support more retro.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, I mean that would be a hell of a price to put on it. Even
you get to put one thing on suspension and take one thing off. Equivalent exchange. And I already know what I would take off and what I would put on.
Well, what would you put on? Because we all know what you want to take off. You want to take off whatever, Chin.
Chin or Sasha, yeah, probably, because those are my two go-tos. I'd put on Krieger der Nacht.
What's Krieger der Nacht do?
So there's a character called Heidi.
Oh, yeah.
The gimmick is she builds 5 robots.
Exodia.
Yeah, she's the Exodia. Krieger der Nacht is the robot that is the instant win. That's the one that says if you have all 5, you win the game. I'd put that one on. That way you can play Heidi, you can do her mecha gimmick, but you play her as she's meant to be played. You don't play her just for I'm going to play a bunch of characters and a bunch of things that make my characters build automatically so I can instant win on turn 3 and play like perfect defense and you just don't get to do anything. So put the instant win robot on the ban list. Take probably Sasha's probably the least egregious character I can think of off of it. And let's go. Let's run.
So we'll wrap up here, but one last question I'll give to you that Connor's brought up in chat. Should a store be in charge of retro suspension lists or ban lists or how it runs? Because not that I'm saying that Sean would. I know Sean is very community forward thinking. But if you put a store in charge of something like this, there's always going to be that question of, are they putting profit above players? No, again, I'm not, Sean, if you are watching, if anyone's going to report to Sean, I'm not saying that he would. I'm not saying that he does. But there will always be...
That is a solid question, especially given how things are here in America. I think there is always going to be that question, but at the same point, you could kind of say like having your stores as major regional TOs could do the same thing, because then they could especially if they're going to vend at their own events and control vending like that, that could be something. But I think as long as the store is trusted by the company first and foremost and by the community and has that like history of community-led events, they have a good standing with both the company and the community, I think it could be okay. But also, a lot of this retro stuff's hard to come by anyway because it hasn't been in print for 5, 10, 15 years. So it's going to be hard to find it anyway. Like I was browsing eBay and I came across some retro stuff, but like whereas Rochester had the characters for 25 or 50 cents, this store on eBay had the characters for $10.
Speaking of eBay, I guess it's a lot hard to come by stuff on there. And as you quite rightly, there's a huge difference between TOing and vending an event. But at the same time, if Rochester doesn't like, if none of the TOs and the vendors are price hiking, say, Street Fighter at Louisville, you know it's a community decision first, because they could, if they wanted to do it, put their Street Fighter challenges at like $40, and people would have to pay it because they want the cards for Louisville, and they're the only way you're going to get them.
One up myself too, so I'm right there.
So it's one of those things that if they wanted to be like in bad faith aspects, they could do it. But speaking of eBay, do you want to know what I picked up this week?
What'd you pick up this week?
So I was just perusing through eBay myself, and I picked up a Penny Arcade starter box.
Oh, wow. The very first UFS product ever.
It was on eBay. I chucked them an offer at 10 quid, and they insta accepted it. And it's got 2 little deck boxes in it with the Penny Arcade stuff on it. And I thought that's going to make some cool content.
Yeah, that could be fun. Some of those cards are insane, from what I hear. I know on the not to plug someone else's product, but the Forchex cast on Twitch has been doing a history of playing through the history of Universus, and they started with the Penny Arcade stuff. And you can see Kevin Broberg and Justin Birch play those 2 decks against each other and watch that kind of madness.
Oh, nice. I knew there was.
They're going through all the old like Worlds formats and Nationals formats and stuff to see how the game's evolved over the years.
Yeah, I know Justin's been working that for a while because he was trying to pick up all deck lists. But yeah, we've been going an hour. We'd usually go longer, but Bake Off ran late, and I need to get some sleep because we've got a lot more recording that we need to do this week because we are very busy this week.
Yep. No rest for the wicked.
No rest for the wicked. And for those here, do want to keep an eye on the channel because I get to preview the first Universus Megazord. Yeah, my character reveal for TMNT is
TMNT. I was like, Power Rangers. When?
Yeah,
what?
No. My TMNT reveal that will be coming this week, and we know they're coming this week because Chris has already put his premiere up, so I'm not telling you anything new. Is canonically a Power Rangers Megazord.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I did not know that until I started looking into the character. I've got so much information I need to like lore dump on this, but I was just like, you know what? I'll take it. I will take an official Megazord, and I will run with that to go. I have a Power Rangers character as my reveal.
Nothing says false advertising like the truth.
Yeah, exactly. It's not rage bait. It's not false advertising. It is technically correct. The best kind of correct.
I'm just glad I got a beginner, new player friendly character for mine. Lenoco messaged me. He goes, "Yeah, you're the new player guy, so we gave you someone who's simple." Like, thanks, dude. I appreciate that.
Guile's been very busy with this. I'm very interested to see what everybody got. I'm very interested to officially be confirmed as correct that Splinter was a backup. I will die on this hill until I'm proven wrong. And the fact that UVS didn't give me Splinter to kind of like say, oh yeah, you were correct. I can die on this hill. I can go, yeah, no, Splinter's a backup. We've already seen Splinter as a backup in the starter. Yeah, I am 100% correct here.
Technically correct.
No, it's not even technically correct. And the best thing is, all I need is one correct theory, and then I can just say all my theories are correct. Because all I need is that one reference point. So I was right this one time.
Like the theory that Lenoco's 3 raccoons in a trench coat?
I'm sorry, has anyone seen Lenoco and 3 raccoons in the same room?
No, because I don't go looking for raccoons.
Do you go looking for Lenoco?
Not often. No.
There you go. And you see, it all works.
Although I did bother him on April Fool's about something that I got to talk to the company about, so that was pretty fun.
Yeah, you've already told me about that.
Yeah, so that was cool. But I will let you get some sleep.
Yes,
because you've had a very long day.
I've had a very long and warm day. And I need to figure out what I'm going to do with this brand new toy I bought today as well. But yes, Guile, thanks for being here and making us feel the pressure of the company watching us at all times.
This is why I don't look at chat. I don't need that. I don't need that sword of Damocles hanging over me.
Connor, I'm sorry that you've unsubbed again. It's really hard to be as right as I am all the time. Cameron, thank you for being here as always. I'm looking forward to see how you get on. How you get on at Louisville. Giles responded, "That's not a theory. That's a spoiler. The raccoons are fine though." I mean, you would say that though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very excited to see what you're going to be running there. No idea what we're going to do next week. I'll probably try and reach out to Breberg and see if we can get him on about more retro stuff. That sounds like a spicy thing to do. After that,
get him to defend his choices on why some things need to stay banned.
Either that, I'm going to
put him on trial, Phoenix Wright style.
Either get Breberg on, or I'm going to try and get Ty back on because Ty has now done some more content about TMNT, and we'll have our first wave of characters. So it'll be good to do like a initial reaction to characters with some people that have covered the set, which might be a good way to go. The week after that, I would love to do a character tier list, but it's also Flynn's birthday weekend, so I don't know if I'll be available. And then after that is Louisville, where Cameron will not be available, and the event will probably still be going on. But I'll try and do something that weekend. It's gonna be a manic a few weeks, as well as the fact that Street Fighter comes out that weekend.
Yep.
But love you all for being here. Absolutely appreciate everything you guys do to keep me motivated in doing this. I have got a very spicy theory coming up that the company.
You're gonna get us taken off the air.
I'm going to get myself taken off the air because I explained this through to someone else, and it is so wild that it loops back round to being rational. And that's how nuts this is. But I will leave that off for another video. If you want to be kept up to date with all my videos, go check out Universus on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. If you want your up-to-date new player terminology, deck lists, gameplay, and apparently your new player-friendly characters, go check out UVS Hermit. And if you see Cameron at Louisville, if you let him win, he will buy you a drink at the bar after the event. That is not Cameron bribing anyone because he didn't say it. That is not collusion by anyone going to the event.
I don't know if I should. I don't know how to defend that.
Nope, you can't.
No, I can't. Because I'm also playing a character that canonically drinks.
There you go. So if you don't ask Cameron about what's going on in his cup, we're not going to have any issues.
Nope.
We'll see you all next week, and you enjoy yourselves at game night. Bye.
Take care, everyone.